You stopped chasing, you let go, but something stayed. It wasn't hope, it wasn't memory, it was something deeper, quiet, still, alive. This isn't about losing your twin flame, it's about what love becomes when you no longer try to hold it. So let's explore this together. What if surrender isn't the end, but the very beginning of real union? We are taught to believe that letting go means we have lost something. And in this journey where the connection feels like it was written before time, letting go can feel like heartbreak without reason, like losing not just a person, but a piece of yourself. But the truth is quieter than that. Letting go doesn't mean the connection is gone, it means the illusion around it is breaking. The part of us that clings, that chases, that believes you have to hold on in order to be loved, that's what starts to fall away. Because real connection isn't held together by force, not by words, not by presence, not even by time. It exists because it always did. We only forget that when fear takes over, when the silence feels louder than love, when their absence feels like rejection instead of redirection. But when we stop trying to grasp, when we stop fighting what is, something strange happens. We begin to feel them again, not in the way we used to, in a way that's even more real. The mind will say, they are gone, you have lost them. But the soul whispers, no, you are just now beginning to see what's always been. Letting go isn't about moving on, it's about moving inward, back to the place where you were never separate to begin with. We grow up thinking that holding on is strength, that if something matters, you fight for it. You hold on with everything you have. You don't let go. And so, when it comes to love, especially a love that feels this rare, letting go feels like failure, like you have given up on something sacred, like you have turned away from your soul. But the surrender is not the same as walking away. It's not abandoning the connection, it's releasing the need to control it. You stop trying to make it fit into your story. You stop trying to make it feel the way it used to. You stop trying to fix what was never broken. Because this connection at its core is not something you build, it's something you remember. And when you surrender, you are not losing them. You are losing part of yourself that believed love had to be earned, the part that thought silence meant rejection, the part that felt unloved when they didn't show up the way you hoped they would. Surrender strips away the story, the grasping, the inner noise, and what's left is stillness, presence, clarity. You see them not with the longing, but with the truth, not with the pain, but with peace. This is the paradox. You let go of the outcome, and the bond becomes clearer. You stop reaching, and the connection shows up in the ways you never expected. Because when love is real, it doesn't disappear when you surrender, it reveals itself more fully. Union is not something you chase, it's not moment in the future or the reunion marked by timing or signs. It's not about them coming back, it's not about perfect alignment or finally hearing the words you have longed for. It's deeper than that. Union is recognition, not of the other, but of yourself, beneath the layers that believed love was something you had to earn or wait for. It is the moment you stop searching for them in the distance and feel them in your breath, your stillness, and your becoming. We think union is something we arrive at, a place, a moment, a reward, but union was never for. It's what remains when separation loses its story, when you stop needing proof, when you stop asking, are we together? You begin to feel what's always been there, not because something outside you changed, but because you did. Union isn't about two people crossing paths again, it's about dissolving the line that made you feel divided in the first place. It's what arises when you no longer resist the now. When you see that your journey was never taking you towards them, it was taking you back to yourself. And in that return, you feel them fully, quietly, without effort. Not because they showed up, but because you finally did. There is a silence in the twin flame journey that doesn't feel peaceful. It feels sharp, empty, heavy with the questions that never get answered. You reach out and nothing comes back, not even a sound, not even a reason. And something inside you breaks, or softens, or awakens. That silence isn't the cruelty, it's turning. It's the moment the journey stops being about the other person and starts becoming something far more intimate, a path back to the truth of who you are. Silence is not the absence, it's space, a sacred space where all the clinging, the expectations, the need to be chosen begins to fall away. Sometimes the one your soul loves most has to step back, not to punish you. You are never meant to find them in their response. You are meant to find them in your becoming. It's in the quiet that your soul begins to speak, not with the answers, but with the knowing. You realize you are not being rejected, you are being refined. This is a sacred test, not a punishment, but an invitation. Can you keep your heart open even when the world gives you no reason to? Can you trust what you feel even when nothing outside says it's real? That's where transformation begins, where love is no longer something you wait for, but something you become. When all your effort has been exhausted, when you have begged the skies, chased signs, let go 100 times, and still felt the ache, you begin to understand something that words can't explain. That love was never asking to be held, it was asking to be seen. There is a stillness that comes after the surrender, not emptiness, not absence, stillness, the kind that holds everything in it. You no longer need to reach for the bond, you begin to feel it, living quietly beneath everything. No longer something you chase, just something you are. This is the gift that comes when grasping falls away. Not a reunion you can show to the world, but a reunion that happens inside your being, where no one else can see, but you know completely. You were never left behind, you were being brought home. And what you were seeking in them, you begin to recognize in yourself the softness, the stillness, the presence that never disappeared. You just stopped trying to control it. This is what love becomes when you stop trying to own it. It doesn't vanish, it doesn't run, it simply becomes free. And in that freedom, you begin to live as you were always meant to. You were never separate, not from them, not from love, not from the truth of who you are. The distance was real, but only so you could return to what never left. It was never about holding on. It was about seeing clearly. What you felt was not a loss, it was a remembering, and in that remembering, you became whole.